Lee Fong is back with us. Lee, it's great to have you back.
Thanks for having me on. It's nice to see you.
Thank you. He's a reporting fellow with the Investigative Fund for the Nation Institute, contributor with The Nation magazine. The website, of course, is thenation.com. And you just came from, well, the headline of the piece that you wrote is Meet the Evangelical Cabal. Is that how you say it? Cabal? Yeah.
It's cabal.
Yeah. Cabal. Orchestrating the shutdown. Tell me about this.
Well, this is a follow-up on some really fantastic investigative work from the New York Times, published Monday, that showed that this strategy from Republicans to attach funding for health reform or defunding health reform to the continuing resolution had been in the works for months, that a secretive group of Republican and conservative organizations had plotted this strategy since February of this year, and they carried it out through meetings with lawmakers, paid advocacy, rallies throughout the summer, radio advertisements. And what my story does is look a little bit deeper into the coalition, where the money's coming from, and who the individuals are.
That's incredible. And so who are the individuals and what are they up to?
Well, a group founded in 1981 called the Council for National Policy was created by a group of evangelicals, including Tim LaHaye, the individual who wrote the Left Behind series, who believes that the rapture is coming imminently, and his group, the Council for National Policy, early in the Obama administration, provided funds for an ad hoc coalition called the Conservative Action Project, and they've been in the background of many of the big, high-profile political
Tim LaHaye
fights.
is the guy who wrote the Left Behind series.
That's right.
He's a multimillionaire, sold multi-million books.
Yeah, and he's very well connected with other evangelicals, many of the large pastors, the very prominent pastors, some of the advocacy groups here on Capitol Hill. What he's done is created a network with Heritage and its new advocacy arm, Heritage Action, that has gone out and used kind of a sledgehammer to corral Republican lawmakers this year to stick by the strategy of shutting down the government over Obamacare.
Is part of their strategy to default on our debt as well?
Well, funny you mentioned that. I talked to several of these strategists behind this effort a few hours ago. They have a Wednesday meeting at Ebenezer's Coffee House on Capitol Hill, and several of them would like to attach the debt ceiling and hold it hostage in the same manner that they've done with government funding, but they're a little bit divided. This morning, Heritage Action actually peeled away from that coalition, saying, let's not default on our debt. That being said, some of these gung-ho religious groups, the American Family Association being one of them, would like they'd like to continue with the debt ceiling strategy.
Is the pivot point of this to end Obamacare, or is it to just damage the Obama presidency? Because if it's damaging the Obama presidency, I get it. That's politics. It may be awful, gruesome politics, and there's probably a large chunk of racism thrown in there as well. But if it's defunding Obamacare, and these are evangelicals, it's like, who would Jesus turn away?
Sure, and
I don't get it.
Well, look at what actually is being shut down by the government shutdown that they've caused. It's community health centers all over the country that are providing health care to the
Kids
poor.
with cancer and clinical trials of drugs that might save their lives.
Yeah, Head Start, children that need help in communities all across the country.
How can evangelicals, how can people who call themselves Christians justify this?
I can't see into their soul and speak for them, but a lot of them don't think the Republican Party is extreme enough, right? They've been exasperated over the last few years. Even with the Republican Party moving further and further to the right, they still see the GOP as what they would call squishy.
Well, I can see that with regard to things like theocracy, that they want the Ten Commandments and they want everybody, and let's start killing children that talk back to their parents or whatever. I mean, if the literalists are teaching evolution in the schools. But healthcare? How does that, how does denying poor people health care, health insurance, comport with Christianity? I don't understand this. And I grew up Christian. I don't understand it.
Well, there's a simple separation from the facts. They're talking about how they've won all these victories in harming health reform. But at the end of the day, the only thing they've shut down are these direct services to the poor. And I think there's kind of a bubble where they're talking to each other, they're revving each other up, talking about revolution, about changing America, about a new birth.
These guys all have health insurance.
That's right. No, and I talked to some of these groups, these Koch-funded groups like Generation Opportunity. They provide great benefits to their employees, but they're going out on college campuses telling people, don't help Obamacare, don't sign up for health insurance, and saying it'll be better for you.
Even though they already have it themselves.
That's right.
That's bizarre. So where is this going? How do you see this playing out?
Well, the crucial, I think, variable here is the business community. You look in the past 4 years, the way that U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the National Association of Manufacturers, a lot of these big business groups, when they want to add pressure to lawmakers and tell them what to do politically, they air advertisements. They hire advocacy groups to go out into these districts and raise hell, to drive up negatives for these lawmakers for in preparation for their reelection. Right now, the business community has been pretty much silent. They've written angry letters, they've made angry phone calls, but they haven't done the paid advocacy that's really how they flex their political muscle. But that might change soon.
Right. I heard that the Chamber of Commerce a couple of days ago came out and said that, if the old-fashioned pro-business Republicans were being primaried by Tea Partiers, and these guys continue with this crazy talk, that they will actually go in and fund the old-fashioned guys.
Well, so far they're a paper tiger. They haven't done it yet. They're writing letters, they're talking to journalists, but the way you make a lawmaker listen is you go into their district and you pay for a TV ad or a radio advertisement, and they haven't done that so far. But we might see that shift very soon.
So it's just talk so far. Presumably because they don't want to be perceived as being on Obama's side.
That's correct. But, if we default on our debt, that's a game changer. That could be worse than the financial crisis from 5 years ago.
That's a worldwide. that could be the beginning of the fall of the Roman Empire. It could be as bad as that. This could be like Britain after World War I. Literally the end of empire.
This is the side story that many of the so-called representatives of the business community have been captured by the Republican Party. They're not able to actually speak for the business community because there's so many partisan Republicans that now lead these lobbying organizations. So we might actually see a reshuffling of how K Street works, of how DC works, if we get to that point.
That's absolutely incredible. Once again, the group that is doing this?
The Conservative Action Project, which is sponsored by the Council for National Policy, this very evangelical end times group.
And who pays for it?
There's a group of donors, the DeVos family in Michigan.
Out of Michigan. They basically own Michigan.
Yeah.
And one of their nephews is Eric Prince, who started Blackwater, right?
Yeah, it's a very tight-knit network. Michael Grebe, this individual that leads the Bradley Foundation in Wisconsin, a lot of old money there. The Koch brothers have, in the past, provided funds for many of these organizations. They gave $500,000 to Heritage Action, which has been really the kind of most visible of these groups. But again, these are 501c organizations that don't disclose all of their donors, so we don't know the full extent of where the money's coming from.
Amazing. Lee Fong, you never cease to amaze me with the brilliance of your investigative reporting, and you showed up at the meeting. You're hanging out with these guys just an hour ago. It's amazing.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Check out Lee's work over at thenation.org.
This is the Thom Hartmann Program.
No chance. Thenation.org. Lee Fong, spelled F-A-N-G. Check it out. Meet the evangelical cabal orchestrating the shutdown. We'll be back.